New details emerge following the fatal crash that has claimed the life of Grammy-nominated R&B artist Angie Stone.
R&B soul singer Angie Stone has died following a car crash. She was on the way to Atlanta following a performance.
R&B singer Angie Stone has died in a car crash. We're told she had just finished a concert in Mobile, Alabama Friday, was heading to Atlanta when the van she was riding in crashed.
What if everything you thought you knew about Angie Stone's tragic passing was only the tip of a deep, dark iceberg? What if behind her soulful melodies and groundbreaking artistry lay a web of secrets and industry betrayals that no one dared to reveal? Until now? In today's story, we peel back the layers of a life defined by passion, pain, and a relentless fight against the very system that helped launch her stardom.
I don't know what they might do to keep from paying me all the money they owe me. So I am truly a walking testimony that God has carried me all this time, because if you only knew how much money.
From the earliest echoes of gospel hymns in a humble South Carolina home to the roar of stadiums and the murmurs of industry insiders, Angie's journey began in a world where faith and music intertwined seamlessly. Growing up in a family where church was both sanctuary and stage, her days were filled with the rich harmonies of gospel choirs and the reverberating beat of spiritual drums. Raised under the gentle but determined guidance of a father who was a devoted member of a local gospel quartet, young Angie was immersed in a tradition where every note told a story of hope and resilience. Halfway through those formative years, there was a spark, a quiet yet insistent call to the stage that hinted at the powerhouse she would one day become. But that's not all. As she learned to harness her innate talent within the sacred walls of her local church, she also discovered that music was more than just sound. It was a language of survival, an act of defiance, and a promise of transformation. At a time when few women dared to challenge the norms of a male-dominated music industry, Angie Stone broke through barriers by joining forces with other trailblazers to form one of the first all-female hip-hop groups, The Sequence.
Supposedly. But there are key people that have been driving the ships. And what they've been doing is improperly representing me.
Their electrifying presence and innovative sound redefined what it meant to be a woman in hip-hop, blending soulful harmonies with bold, unapologetic beats that left an indelible mark on the genre. With each performance, they shattered preconceived notions and pushed the boundaries of what was commercially and culturally acceptable. In the midst of their meteoric rise, however, a darker reality emerged. Despite their undeniable talent and the groundbreaking impact of their music, the group was left reeling from a system that refused to credit or compensate them adequately. But it gets crazier. As whispers of unpaid royalties and industry exploitation began to circulate, it became clear that their fight was not just for artistic expression, but for recognition, respect, and the basic rights every artist deserves.
I'm not an attorney. I don't know everything. What I learned how to do was go out, work hard, get paid, come home, pay my bills, take care of my family.
Navigating the treacherous waters of collaboration, Angie found herself lending her soulful voice and undeniable creative spark to projects with some of the most influential names in music. Working closely with icons like D'Angelo and Mary J. Blige, she not only shaped the soundtracks of a generation, but also quietly waged her own battle against a system that downplayed her contributions. Every studio session, every songwriting credit was a testament to her artistry, yet time and again, her efforts were minimized, leaving her on the fringes of the very success she helped create. Midway through these collaborations, as tensions simmered beneath the surface, one could sense that something was amiss, a growing frustration that would soon spill over into public confrontations and legal disputes. And what happened next would shock everyone. The subtle art of creative partnership began to reveal its darker side, where behind the polished veneer of hit records lay a struggle for control, recognition, and ultimately, survival in a ruthless industry. As Angie's star ascended, so too did the challenges posed by those entrusted with managing her burgeoning career. Despite her undeniable talent and the raw passion she poured into every performance, a series of missteps by her management team cast a long shadow over her success. Critical opportunities slipped through her fingers. A coveted acting role here, a groundbreaking recording session there, each a missed chance that could have redefined her legacy. These lapses were not mere coincidences, but symptomatic of a deeper problem, a betrayal of trust by professionals more interested in their own gains than in nurturing her extraordinary gift. Right in the middle of these mounting frustrations, a pivotal moment emerged when it became clear that Angie's management was failing her in the most crucial ways. But listen to this. While the public remained blissfully unaware, behind closed doors, the seeds of a monumental legal showdown were being sown, setting the stage for a battle that would pit her against the most powerful entities in the music world. In a move that sent shockwaves through the industry, Angie Stone eventually took a stand against a system notorious for swallowing up its artists. With a steely resolve, born of years of exploitation, she decided to confront the giants of the music world over long-standing royalty disputes and alleged financial misappropriations. Her quest for justice was more than a personal crusade. It was a clarion call for all artists who had been shortchanged, sidelined, or silenced by corporate greed. Midway through this turbulent period, as the legal and financial pressures mounted, Angie's determination only grew stronger, even as the odds were stacked overwhelmingly against her. It gets worse. The fight wasn't just about reclaiming what was rightfully hers. It was about challenging an entire industry that had repeatedly exploited talent and sacrificed artistry on the altar of profit, leaving artists in the lurch with broken promises and empty bank accounts. Then came the fateful day that would forever alter the course of Angie Stone's life, a day marred by mystery and unanswered questions. In what appeared to be a tragic accident, the circumstances surrounding her passing defied logic and left even the most seasoned insiders reeling. Reports of a car crash where Angie was the sole victim stirred a maelstrom of speculation and disbelief.
For those of you that don't understand, that Miss Angie Stone climbed out the van on her own. She was instructed to sit down on the side of the road.
How could an accident be so eerily convenient, with no corroborating evidence and no clear explanation? As details emerged, inconsistencies and anomalies piled up, casting a long shadow of suspicion over the official narrative.
Still not clear why they crashed or how the other people in the van are doing. The Grammy-nominated artist was known for songs like Wish I Didn't Miss You and No More Rain.
By a white person, and then she was ran over by a white person.
Deep in the midst of this unfolding mystery, a chilling realization took hold. The very factors that led to her demise seemed too orchestrated to be mere chance. The truth might be even darker. Behind the tragic headlines and the sorrow of loss, whispers of foul play and industry intrigue began to surface, suggesting that Angie's death might have been more than a random misfortune. It might have been a calculated move by those desperate to silence her voice. Adding yet another explosive twist to an already convoluted tale, acclaimed music insider Jaguar Wright stepped into the spotlight with allegations that challenged everything the public had assumed about Angie Stone's untimely end. With a mix of raw emotion and hard-hitting revelations, Jaguar asserted that Angie's passing was no accident at all, but a deliberate act designed to keep her groundbreaking disclosures buried forever. According to Jaguar, Angie had been on the verge of exposing damning secrets about the powerful figures who not only controlled the flow of royalties, but also manipulated careers for their own gain. Halfway through her exposé, Jaguar's words resonated like a siren's call, stirring both outrage and a desperate need for truth among fans and industry watchers alike. But that's not the end of the story. With every claim and counterclaim, the mystery deepened, forcing everyone to confront the uncomfortable possibility that Angie's struggle against the industry's giants might have cost her far more than she ever imagined. In the wake of these staggering revelations, we are left with a tapestry woven from threads of brilliance, betrayal, and relentless defiance. A tapestry that tells the story of Angie Stone, an artist who not only transformed the musical landscape, but also dared to stand up to the very powers that sought to control her destiny. As we sift through the layers of her life, from her humble beginnings in a small-town church to the dizzying heights of international fame and the dark corridors of industry corruption, a single, resounding question emerges. Could Angie's final battle for justice have been the catalyst for a chain of events so far-reaching that it ultimately silenced her forever? So what does this all mean? The legacy she left behind is a bittersweet reminder that true artistry often comes at a tremendous cost, and sometimes the most radiant voices are dimmed by the very forces that once celebrated them. In the end, Angie Stone's story is not just one of personal triumphs and tragedies. It is a mirror reflecting the broader, often ruthless realities of an industry built on both creative passion and cold, calculated exploitation. Every soulful note she sang, every risk she took, was a testament to her indomitable spirit and her refusal to be cast aside. Yet as we piece together the fragments of her life and the shadowy secrets that lingered behind the scenes, we're compelled to ask ourselves, what price does a true artist pay for her brilliance? And as the echoes of her voice continue to inspire generations of musicians and fans alike, the mystery surrounding her final moments remains a stark reminder that in the world of fame and fortune, the truth is often buried beneath layers of power, money, and unspeakable betrayal. Ultimately, Angie's journey stands as both a celebration of her extraordinary talent and a somber, cautionary tale about the dangers of unbridled ambition in an industry where loyalty is fleeting and justice is a luxury few can afford. The revelations of unpaid royalties, missed opportunities, and the relentless pursuit of artistic integrity paint a picture of a woman who fought tooth and nail against a system rigged to keep her down, a system that, in the end, may have orchestrated her silence. With every heartbeat of her music, Angie challenged the status quo, urging us all to look beyond the glittering facade of success and confront the harsh realities lurking beneath. But as we close this chapter on her life, one thing is clear. The questions she raised and the battles she fought continue to resonate, leaving us with a legacy that is as enigmatic as it is inspiring. So, as we reflect on the life and untimely passing of Angie Stone, we are left not with definitive answers, but with a myriad of questions that beckon further inquiry. What hidden truths remain locked away behind closed doors? Who truly benefits when the voices of trailblazers like Angie are stifled? And what might the future hold for an industry that has long thrived on its own secrets? In pondering these questions, we honor not just the memory of a musical icon, but also the enduring spirit of an artist who dared to speak out against injustice, an artist whose story is a powerful reminder that sometimes the most profound truths lie just beneath the surface, waiting for those brave enough to uncover them. Every note, every lyric, and every whispered allegation echoes with the determination to spark change and demand accountability. Angie Stone's legacy is not confined to the annals of music history. It lives on in the passionate debates of fans, in the quiet defiance of new artists, and in the relentless pursuit of a truth that is as elusive as it is essential. And as you walk away from this story, remember that the battle for integrity in the face of overwhelming odds is one that continues today. Keep questioning, keep challenging, and above all, keep listening. Because sometimes, the most powerful messages are the ones that echo long after the music has faded away.